Hi folks, it's Shannon. I was just wanting to show you one of my favorite decks, the Gentle Tarot. Kind of walk you through it and give some of my impressions. I hope you enjoy. So these are the backs of the Gentle Tarot. You'll see some of this imagery again later, especially in one of my favorite cards, which is also my card for the year. All right, let's flip it over. So I put these back in order, but one thing you can see right off the bat is that they're color-coded. We love color. So the majors are purple, wands are red, cups are blue, the suit of thunder is yellow, the suit of stones is green, so this is the same as swords and pentacles. All right. So I love this Fool card. I love one of the recurring themes throughout the deck is these rainbows, and they're just everywhere and they're everything to me. But you see this little fish kind of swimming off into the unknown toward the rainbow, and in the back there's this much larger fish, and I just think that's a really great metaphor. Next is the Magician. I love the really open posture that this person has. I love that they're receiving from above and from below. I love the sense of movement in the card, even though everything's stationary. I love the fire burning down here. I just love it. This was probably the card that convinced me to get this deck. I love owls, and I just loved the way that this owl is kind of staring into your soul and has this like intuitive knowing that I associate with the High Priestess. The Empress was a really helpful card for me. I struggle sometimes with the Coleman Rider-Waite more typical presentation of this card sometimes. And to be able to connect instead with animal energy was really healing for me. I love this caribou and just like the fertile land all around it, and like it's covered in life with these butterflies and these birds and the beautiful sun behind it. So love the Empress. And even more so, I had a lot of trouble relating to the Emperor before I saw this card. I have some complicated relationships with male authority figures in my life, and I feel like the gendering of this card is always kind of challenging for me. So to take that all away and just think of the majesty of a sea lion kind of at sunset, and how in their body and, you know, centered they are, was really helpful for me. The Hierophant also tends to have really religious imagery, which for me can be somewhat triggering. So to have kind of the wisdom of these birds looking out over the ocean in the Hierophant, and just kind of the knowing that they have, was also really helpful for me. And then the Lovers card. You'll see some echoes of this later in the Moon card. And then next is the Chariot. It's a Chariot year this year, it's 2023. And so I feel like I'm getting a much deeper appreciation of this card. But even before that, I just really loved the image of this grizzly bear getting their food with the rainbow again and the sun, and just like the power and the movement and the kind of like inspired bravery that this card has for us. See, our recurring next is the Devil. I love the way you can see kind of the echoes of the footprints here, and this chain is just such a striking image. And then this is another one of my favorite cards because it reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Aang, and like some of the final fights that he has against Lord Ozai. I don't know, it just makes me feel like more empowered with the tower. Like, I know it's everything is crumbling around you and like things like that, but it just reminds me that like I can handle it in a way that some of the other tower cards don't. And from there into the star, I love the colors, I love the reflection, and I love her taking this step of faith out onto the lake. Here's the moon card. It has very reminiscent coloring to the Lovers card, but here we have one figure. I love the echo of the Justice card with the black and the white and the hills back here. And just like, look at her, she's gorgeous. Then we have the sun with our solar twins and just like vitality and life and joy. I love it. I really enjoy this Judgment card for similar reasons to the Hierophant and the Emperor and the Empress, in that the traditional kind of imagery from Rider-Waite-Smith decks tends to be very religious and very much associated with like the final judgment. And I find this card is actually much more about like shedding my skin, whatever that is, the limits that I've placed on myself, and kind of growing into a bigger, more full version of myself. And then we have the World. I love how full circle this feels. I love the echoes of all the elements in these colors. I love that our salmon friend from the Fool is with us, and we have this eagle underneath our feet. It's just gorgeous. And then here's the extra card that comes with this deck. It's card number 22. It's the Unseen. This always feels kind of like an eye to me, just like looking deep into my soul, which I think is funny with the title of the card. Yeah, it's kind of maybe what's underneath the everything of the world. So that is our majors. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Alright, next we have the Suit of the Wands, and I just love this ace with the hand grasping the plant matter here. I just think it's gorgeous. This is the Two of Wands, and again, I love the movement and adventure that I feel in this card, while still being so rooted in nature. Here's the Three of Wands, looking out to the horizon. I love this Four of Wands and just like the beautiful, colorful movement and celebration that I can feel coming off of this card. I love this Five of Wands too, because I sometimes feel very much like a grumpy bear when I'm pulling this card. And it's just kind of that irritated, can't get people out of my way feeling. This is the Six of Wands, and I love just how free she looks on the back of this bald eagle flying through the sky. It reminds me of some of my hedge rides. Here's the Seven of Wands. This lady is not taking no for an answer. She demands your respect, and her familiar is going to make sure that it happens. That's pretty much what I'm feeling. Here's the Eight of Wands. I love that it's got this like subtle nod of like the moon phases here. This Nine of Wands I love, with the lynx kind of stalking you in the background and ready to pounce. This Ten of Wands, when you're just feeling so crushed by the weight of what you're carrying, but You've got one hand on the earth kind of steadying you and helping you to kind of manage that load. And then in the quartz, we've renamed the court cards. So there's the seed, the root, the flower, and the harvest, which I love too, and also takes kind of some of the gender stuff that I feel a little weird about out of these cards. So the Seed of Wands is this playful sea lion, or I guess it's a seal. Just delighted and curious and open to the world. The Root of Wands is this lovely little ermine. I love that he's got his hand up like this. I feel like it reminds me of a lot of the like statuary I've seen over the years. I'm not sure if that's not on purpose or not, but. And then the Flower of Wands, this red-winged blackbird with fire in her heart and these piercing eyes. Love it. And finally, the Harvest of Wands is our lovely wolf, howling at the moon with passion to lead his pack towards what is important to him. Ace is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but it's true. Because it just shows this like cup overflowing kind of feeling, and I love the way that you can tell that the bird is singing, and our friend Yarrow's back. Just feels like the beginning of new emotions that are just flowing out of us. Here's this Two of Cups. I love the mirroring on this card and how the individuals are pouring into each other's mouths. And the Three of Cups. Looks like quite the party. I would love to join them. And then take a rest, like this Four of Cups. I love this Four of Cups because it feels like that meme where Homer's like backing up into the bushes. And I feel like this is so relatable so often that I'm just like, you know what? I need a moment. There's been so much beautiful emotions and relationships, and I need a second to just kind of sit with the earth and recalibrate. And our Five of Cups with the 3 spilled cups and 2 cups still full. This just like immediately screams grief to me. The Six of Cups, another really mirrored card. There's quite a few in the cup suit that are very mirrored, which I love, with our lovely rainbow in the background and birds and yarrow and all the beautiful things. Here's our Seven of Cups. I also like how several of the cards in this suit are kind of stark with the background being so black. I feel like it really pulls your attention to like the face of the figure and what it's reflecting, and kind of puts you in their shoes. What are they thinking about? What are they looking at? Here's the Eight of Cups, taking a sip and walking away. The Nine of Cups. I think in the guidebook, there's 2 guidebooks. There's a little one that comes with the deck, and then there's a bigger one that was made afterwards. And I think it's like, it's me time, which is with like a bunch of S's, and I think it's hilarious. But yeah, chilling out. And then this card I absolutely love. I feel like the Ten of Cups can be kind of off-putting for me a lot of times because I'm a single person and child-free on purpose. And I don't know, this just seems more relatable to me. Here's the Seed of Cups. Again, kind of playful, curious energy, but this time in a sea of emotions. The 'The Root of Cups. The Flower of Cups. I love this crane. I pull it pretty often, and it just makes me take a big sigh and kind of reset. And then the Harvest of Cups. So that brings us to the Suit of Thunder. This Ace of Thunder is glorious, with the hands kind of up to receive this like lightning strike of new idea. The Two of Thunder, when you're kind of all caught in yourself and not sure which way to go. The Three of Thunder, really centering the heart and sometimes the pain that we can feel there. The Four of Thunder. I love how the thunder here makes this kind of like land structure underneath the person that is just finally taking a break and resting on this rainbow. Here's the Five of Thunder. The Six of Thunder. I love how, I think on all the sixes, the figure is kind of being held by a greater animal presence. And this one always makes me think of kind of like the journey of life and kind of moving from one thing to the next. Here's the Seven of Thunder. This one's another one, like I don't really connect with the idea of the Seven of Swords being about like deception or sneakiness most of the time, and so I don't know, I like this rendition better. Here's the Eight of Thunder. Feeling kind of trapped and alone, even though there are lots of ways to go. The Nine of Thunder. I love this kind of like deep, heavy cloak of night. But the fact that we're like looking to the moon and what might change. And then the Ten of Thunder. I don't know, I feel like this is definitely part of my experience that I feel sometimes when like everything is poking at me. But there's always a footing somewhere that's supporting me. This is the Seed of Thunder. Again, very curious, very playful, this time with the realm of ideas. The Root of Thunder. Quick moving albatross that can just like go and go and go and go. The Bald Eagle for the Flower of Thunder. I love the lightning coming from its talons. And the Harvest of Thunder, when you finally mastered kind of all of the things that are happening with your mind and can be at peace. And that brings us to the final suit, the Suit of Stones, which is taking the place of Pentacles. So here's the Ace of Stones, and you can see our rainbow is still with us. I love this Two of Stones and just the way the light plays across the figure and the kind of suspension as we're juggling these two orbs, or stones, I guess. The Three of Stones and just like the creative work bursting forward and coming from these places of connection. The Four of Stones and just kind of that settled, grounded, protected feeling. The Five of Stones. I love this. It's like looking down and realizing there's so much more going on than what you thought there was. The Six of Stones is another one of these lovely mirrored cards, kind of talking about reciprocity and exchange. The Seven of Stones, and that kind of moment of pause while you look over your work. Speaking of, the Eight of Stones and kind of the detailed craftsmanship that can be required to make something in the world. And here we have the Nine of Stones and a little cairn. Just kind of, again, resting and receiving beauty of nature. And I love this Ten of Stones, where you're kind of blurring with nature around you and surrounded by life and joy and rootedness. And then the Seed of Stones is this curious and sweet and thoughtful, but kind of like waiting little deer. And then the Root of Stones is this lovely bee on this gorgeous flower. The Flower of Stones is again one of our lovely bears, just chilling on a log in the river, taking care of herself. And finally, the Harvest of Stones, with this rainbow again. Even though there's rain, never really leaving us throughout this deck. So friends, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of one of my favorite decks, the Gentle Tarot by Mari in the Sky. It's available, it's awesome, there's several different versions. This is the first edition version, but there's like a linen and a pocket, and there's a second edition that has that different Lover's card that we talked about. Yeah, it's a great deck and I love working with it, and I would encourage you to look into it if you're looking for something along these lines. I hope that you all have a great day. Bye.